Bit of a risky business. I know I wouldn't wear one.
Unless it was a Villa one.
Even then, I'll just wear a hoodie or something. My Kappa shirt days have long since gone. Hi, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Fiorentina Pro shirt. So in one of our prior videos that you can find if you click here, we reviewed the Kappa Aston Villa shirt. Being a big Villa fan myself, I reviewed it, I scored it highly.
Very biased.
Well, I did get a lot of stick with people thinking that it was biased when I actually thought from a pro perspective it was a really, really good shirt.
Well, why don't I review this one and
I
then
think you probably
can
should,
chip in?
just to prove how good the Kappa Pro shirts are.
Oh, I'm not. Is it maybe?
They are good.
Right, well, I'll start by saying it is actually quite canny. The thing that jumps out is that's actually a really nice fabrication. Yeah. It's super, super lightweight and it's quite aerated.
Yeah.
And that's a really interesting thing about Kappa, right? We first saw Kappa launch onto the centre stage, which was back in, I would say,
2002-ish.
I think it was the year that Brazil won the World Cup.
Yeah.
And if you remember the fabric that Kappa were making the kits out of then, it was really heavy.
It was.
Loads of elastin in it, just stretched forever. And when I think they've stuck to their guns, they've not deviated at all. Kappa is that slim cut, and that's what they're doing. But what they have done is the technology around the fabric has moved along
really
with the times.
it a lot.
So as much as people out there might think that you were being biased towards Aston Villa, I have to say Kappa's kits are quite good. I mean, there was probably a little bit of naughtiness going on because it was Villa, but
it's just the colours are so good, aren't they?
Honestly speaking, these are great kits. There's some lovely details in the back there where they've got that tiny little double piping detail at the back, which is really nice. I'm not a big fan of the colour, but then, you know, I'm not a fan of this particular team, so that colour is synonymous with that team. What I do love, and again, we talk about badges all day long, but I love a nice badge.
I think that's one of the best we've seen this season.
An absolute cracker. It's got a tiny little bit of felt in the back there, which is really nice and soft to the hand. And then you've got this beveled logo in the centre, and then it's even raised again to the sides. And from the inside, again, nothing there at all to cause any sort of abrasion whatsoever. Really nice. Neckline really nice. Logos on the arms as we come to expect from Kappa. So yeah, overall, guys, I've got to say this is a nice kit.
There's two other bits on this that I really like. With having the white stripe across the chest, it would have been easy for them to have just printed the whole front panel rather than actually cut and sew and maintain that quality of it being truly a violet shirt. But then what's also quite interesting is that they've created kind of like a pivot armhole where...
Yeah, explain to me and the audience what a pivot armhole is.
So a pivot armhole, Craig, is where the armhole shaping and the regular side seam are slightly offset, which allows much better vertical movement of the arm.
I'm not 100% sure I would call that a pivot armhole.
Well, I think I said it's almost a pivot armhole.
Okay, that's fair enough. Do you want to know an interesting fact about a pivot armhole?
Do you know what? I'd love to. I've been thinking all morning that I hope somebody hits me with an interesting fact about a pivot armhole. It
actually came from military wear.
Really?
To get a lot more movement into military clothing.
Wow.
There you go. So if I was going to mark this out of 11, Rob, I would probably give this a good 7, me personally. I know you rated the Villa one a little bit higher, and that's probably where the bias comes into it. But honestly speaking, I think these are cracking kits.
Yeah, a fair score. I think perhaps me giving the Villa one a 9 was a bit too full on, but I think some of the things that I liked about that Villa shirt are obviously present here, like just the density of stitches on the seam to make sure that that's just never going to break. It's super stretchy fabric.
Yeah.
And they're making sure that the kit is manufactured to be able to support the fabric, which goes back to what you said, that they've been doing it for 20 years and they've just refined it.
They've not deviated.
No.
They've not deviated from the technology, even though they came in for pelters as well at that point, because from a fan culture perspective, no one was able to wear their kits and it was so fresh and so new. But they were determined to stick to their guns.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see, you know, if other technologies from that event had stayed the same, I wonder where other brands might have been.
Yeah, totally.
You know, that's a fair point.
Yeah. So we'd love to know if you agree. What do you think of the Kappa shirts? Have you got one? Would you wear one? How do you look in yours? It's a bit of a risky business. I know I wouldn't wear one.
Unless it was a Villa one.
Even then, I think I'd just wear a hoodie or something. My Kappa shirt days have long since gone.
Yeah, good show.
But yeah, we'd love to hear in the comments. We'd love for you to hit the like button if you've enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe to the channel.
See, you weren't that biased at all on that one.